I will forget, and then Jen will be like, "Are you recording?" And I'll say, "Shit." Again. All right. Can you guys see my screen? Give me a thumbs up if you can. Awesome. Okay, so basically, like, this is my little fun part, but what we're looking to do is really set the tone for 2026. And a lot of times what I will see when you guys come into, like, when I'm asking you to set your stretch goals, or I'm saying like set a stretch goal in your check-ins, a lot of times you don't really understand what that is. And I might come back and say, or even Coach Jen will say, like, hey, go a little bit bigger, go a little deeper with that. And or you get to a place where you're like, I just don't know what my stretch goal is anymore. And a lot of you guys have been saying that actually recently, which makes a lot of sense because we're getting to the end of the year, and many of you may have even accomplished some of your stretch goals. So the idea today is to just get started in thinking really, really big. And what we want you to do is think big. And I'm going to talk about this a few times. Like, really think about stepping into your own power, breaking rules. Like, I have breaking rules here, but thinking about things that really make you uncomfortable, things that might make you go, yeah, I don't know if I could ever do that. Generally, those are the things that you should be striving for. Um, and they're really going to help you, like, drive forward, like create change. But we're going to look at this also in many, many different ways. So we're not just going to look at this in fitness, but we're going to look at it across like 4 different pillars in your life. So, like I said, I just said this. We really want to create a foundation for you guys, a foundation that is really going to help you stay focused. I gotta get people, I'm getting distracted. People are trying to come in. Coach Jen. Um,
I got him. I just saw him.
okay. So creating a foundation that's really going to help you stay focused throughout the year. And like I said, be able to kind of shift even through like the different seasons of the year, but it's really designed to give you something that'll just keep you moving forward. Okay. Um, so one of the exercises that I like to do, I found this and I was like, ooh, we're gonna do this one. This is a fun one, and you're gonna be a little interactive with me. So has anybody ever felt, and I don't care what it is, I don't care what it is in life. It could have to do with anything in life, but have you ever felt like you have been working so hard at something, like any point in your life, anything that you can think of right now, and nothing is changing? Like, you feel like you're in this loop. And I'm not necessarily just talking about fitness or anything like that, but like, damn, I put in all of this effort, yet nothing changes. Has anybody ever felt like that? Yeah. Well, this is a funny thing about change. There's a really big difference between change and transformation. And most of you guys joined Team Becoming Her because you wanted to transform. Am I correct? Yeah. Did anybody join to change? Oh, okay. So here's the thing between, like, and I want you guys to think about this a little bit. All right. I want you to think bigger. This is going to design to get you to start to think bigger. Change is like slapping a coat of paint on the wall, while transformation looks really different. So if I wanted to change my kitchen, I could paint my cupboards. But if I wanted to transform my kitchen, I'm probably going to hire a contractor, start busting down some walls and making some really big transformations in my home. Does that make sense? It might make a little more sense if I do this. So you see this triangle right here? That's change. I went from there to there. That's change. That's change. That's change. Now, if I want to transform, That's transforming. That's transforming. That's transforming. Does that make sense? Yeah? Where am I going with this? Anybody want to know? Because transformation, guys, is the thing that really impacts you. It's going to impact everything about you. Okay. When we change, it's like changing our socks, changing our clothes, creating some type of change. But when you lean into transformation, it is super intentional and it is going to impact every part of your life. And some of you guys have experienced this. Some of you guys have made some big transformations, and it hasn't just affected you physically, it's affected you mentally, emotionally. You feel very, very different. And that is the difference between looking for change and wanting to lean into transformation. Because when you are looking to transform any part of your life, any pillar of your life, it's not just a quick fix. And I'm not just talking about diets right now. I'm talking about everything in general. It's not a quick fix or a minor tweak. It's a complete overhaul. It's an overhaul of how you think, how you act, how you see yourself, how you show up. Like true transformation is what? Who can tell me?
Life changing.
Yeah, it's life changing. Yeah, it's long. I mean, and
And
it's
it's long
something.
lasting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really long lasting, right? And, with the right tools, you guys can set yourself up for success. And so I like this little exercise, and I want you guys to just kind of think about that and let that settle in. This was something that was shared with me maybe a year or two ago, and it really landed a plane for me. Um, because a lot of times we talk about change, but the reality is we are always like, when we really want to evolve and shift, we're looking for more transformation, but a lot of times we're afraid of that. We're afraid of transformation. We're not afraid of change. We're afraid of transformation. Change is easy because I can
Hmm.
change my clothes
Yeah.
and I could go put my old clothes back on again. I could change my hair. I can grow it back, can't I? I can change my hair by cutting it, but a transformation, that's really a lot different. So I wanted to just kind of set the stage with that before we start talking about what I want to do today. So the goal of today is to really start to create the frame. So we're going to talk about kind of the framework of creating these goals, like basically setting the frame that we really want to live in when we look at 2026. So like just kind of framing shit in. Call it creating the frame. And I just really wanted to use some pretty gold frames. So how we do this, there are four sides to creating the frame. One of the first is finding your truth. So that's one of the first things that I want to dig in right now. And the goal when we look for our truth is to help understand like where we're currently at. So before we can set goals and create a vision board for 2026, we need to know right where we're at right now. Who agrees with me? Yeah. We need to start to look at things like, you know, emotions about where we're at, reflecting on how we got to where we are. And this is all of the things. Like, and again, keep in mind, we're going to look at several different pillars, but like really understanding our current place. So, how we're going to do that is we're going to look under four pillars. This is where I want you to write this down. Our four pillars are fitness and or body, faith and or balance, flow. Okay, your flow could be like your family, your friends, your connection with yourself. I used to say family and friends, which it definitely is, but there are people that also Like you can also, like, you might not be in a relationship, you might not have kids. So flow is kind of like that balance that you have with yourself. So there's different ways of looking at it. So it could be friends, it could be family, it could be relationships with yourself. And then financial, business, that type of piece. Those are usually the buckets. So a lot of people will say health, wealth, right? And but I think these are four really good pillars to look at. So like your body, I kept it all in F's, okay? But body, or fitness, faith or balance, however you want to look at that. Flow, it could be your also be family, friends, and financial or business. And what you want to do is start to, so write, just that's all you have to write down right now is just so those four built pillars on a piece of paper. And what you want to do is start to look at these and ask yourself your truth. Like find your truth in each one of these as to where you are right now. Like without any filters, just being really downright honest with yourself about where you are. And some of, and you're all going to be in different places of that, but to take a good look at that. Some of the things that you can ask yourself when you're looking at this, your truth, and where you are right now, is you can reflect on the year. So look back on the year and ask yourself some questions. I'm going to give you guys some time to do this. What worked under each one? So again, I want you to look at each filler. What worked with my fitness, my body? What worked with my faith? What worked with my flow, my family, my friends? What worked financially? What didn't? Be honest with yourself. What didn't go so great? Where did I grow? Like, where did I grow? Where did I grow in all of these areas? And where did I play small? Because we all do it, myself included. What habits might have held you back? Fears, things like that. So I'm going to let Coach Jen jump in here, but I want you guys to just take some time, like a couple of minutes. And I would play some light, nice, soft music if I had it, but I don't. So I want you to just like all play music in your head. But I want you to take a couple of minutes and I want you to think about what these questions as they apply to all of these pillars. And again, you can, name them differently, but just kind of taking a peek. What worked really, really well? What didn't work so well? Where did I grow? Where did I play small? What habits held me back? Any questions? If you have questions, just I think there's like several of you in here. You can like you can either raise your hand, or you might be better off hitting your little reaction emoji and raising your hand because we might not see you all because there's quite a few of you in here.
Renee is asking about flow because her earbuds died.
Flow. Okay, so flow is like your family, friends, yourself, your connection with yourself, like your faith is more your spiritual connection, where flow is more of what I would say your balance, your connection with yourself, your family, your friends.
Your everyday
Yeah.
engagements with life. People.
I used to say family and friends, but I like flow a little bit better.
No, I like it too. Because it changes too, with the seasons, with the time in your life, right? Like it just ebbs and flows.
It does. And if any of you guys want to share, as you get work through it and you want to, if you have questions or you just want to share, We'd love to hear. What worked? What didn't? Where did I grow? Where did I play small? I played small this year. What habits held me back? A few habits that held me back.
Career would fit into finances, but it
Yep.
also fits into flow too,
Mm-hmm.
Maura. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It could fit into finances. So yeah, like looking at like from a business aspect, either or. See, like if I talked about my business aspect in 2025, what worked for me as I merged businesses, that was a work for me. It's also where I grew. That's why I'm here. What didn't work? Oh, things that didn't work. Bumble being one of them. Amy's laughing at me. You feel me, don't you, girl? Bumble being one of them, yes. Ugh. Hinge is another.
Amy
How
wants
about
you to
you?
explain balance again.
Balance. What did I
Hmm.
call balance? Balance or faith.
Faith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of like where you're at spiritually, your connection. And that could be your connection with yourself. It could be your connection with a higher power. For the more part, it's like where is that spiritual connection? And it doesn't matter where you lean into. Like for me, like that's probably one of the places I grew a lot in my spiritual or my faith over the past few years. If I had to be super honest, it is actually a place where I played small this year for a while. I had some fears trapped in it. So yeah, that's where that would be more in your faith. I probably shouldn't have changed flow. I should have left it at family and friends. I just liked flow better.
Tina says, what does play small mean? Play small means like you just kind of settle and you don't really go for it.
Yeah.
So you're just kind of going through the motions and just because it's comfortable and it's safe, right? Not really taking that big leap of faith or trusting yourself and, you know, just taking that chance, that what if, and instead you're kind of like, what if? And it just holds you back. That's what, I don't know, Jules, what do you think?
No,
I
I
think
like
that's
that.
kind of
You
like
were
where
going,
I
yeah.
feel.
No, you were going in the right direction. So I love where you were going with the what if. So yeah, playing small is like, what if it doesn't work?
Hmm.
Where you want to step into is what if it does? What if it does? What if I move back to Las Vegas and I lose my ass? What if?
That wouldn't happen.
You're not playing with me. What if? What if? Or what if I move back to Las Vegas and my world just blossoms? Gotta take big risks. With big risks come big rewards.
Hmm.
So that's what playing small would be. It's like second guessing yourself, Tina. It's like, and a lot of us do that. A lot of us do that. And specifically, I think as females, we are a lot of times we will play small with our own goals because we're very focused on other people's goals, kids, family, others around us, and we'll play small with ourselves. No, I'm not drinking coffee at 8 o'clock at night. I'm actually drinking hot chocolate, LMT. Somebody's getting sick.
Yep, me too, Tina. Overthinking is definitely what holds us back sometimes. So, again, that's where the balance or the faith comes in. And not just it, like, it doesn't have to be like, you don't have to believe in, God or religion. Like, it just could be a belief within yourself, like something that is just within you that just lights a fire in you and just is like, okay, I'm worth it. I deserve this. I can take this chance. I am worthy of this chance.
Mhm. Yeah. How are we doing? You guys need a few more minutes? Okay, you got it. Jen, can you want to sing?
You want me to sing? Well, it is the holidays. I can definitely get into the holiday spirit.
Good questions. Keep them coming, guys. But just, yeah,
Yeah.
just leaning into all of the things. And and again, we're going to ask you to really spend not just tonight, but the next couple of weeks thinking about these things. A lot of this
Hmm.
stuff is going to really help set you up. And so, you might have thought, why are we having 3 calls to do a vision board? Because really, we want you to dig very, very deep. So these are things, and that's why I have a little worksheet for you too, but we're going to want you to really spend the next couple of weeks thinking about these things because they're what are going to help you create some crazy, outstanding goals.
Yeah.
And here's another way of playing small. I like when I say this because I hear this sometimes when you guys when I say, I need you to set a bigger goal. And so playing small is, I could never do that. How many of you, it's that where you want to write that goal down, you want to say that thing, but there's a piece of you that's not going to write it down out of fear that you won't achieve it. Who's ever felt that before? If I put that down, and what if it doesn't happen? Here's the thing, that's the beauty of a vision board. It's putting it in front of your face. It's you physically thinking about these big goals, writing them down. And this whole process is taking you through a place of where you put this in a place of, yeah, I can do this, versus what if I fail? Because when we approach it from a place of, what if it doesn't work? What if, and we play small with it, it never will happen. Never. But when we come from a place of, it's like a card versus a bank. If we're always focused on paying off the debt and we're not focused on what's coming into the bank account, the debt will never go away. Let me say that again. If you're always focused on the money going out or even paying off the debt, the money will never come in. But if you focus on the bank account getting bigger, if you focus on what's coming in, if you pick up $1 off the ground and you say, thank you, I like this and I want more, more will come in. If you focus and you pick the dollar up off the ground and you go, it's only $1, it's always only going to be $1. Does that make sense? Does that land a little bit? Yeah. And it's with everything in life. Here's the fact of the matter. You want to know the difference between us and a millionaire? Well, maybe there's millionaires on this call. I don't know. If you are, damn. But what's the difference between me and a millionaire? The difference between me and a millionaire is mindset. It's the only difference. They don't believe that they can't. They never have. Look at people like Leo Skepti. You got to look at these types of things, these kids that are coming out. Something very small, never believed that he couldn't. Now he's a millionaire just from trying on clothes and talking hello and shit. Who would have thought? If you don't know who he is, look him up on the internet. All right. Um, Permission to move on. You good? Okay. So now what we're going to do, and it's okay if you haven't finished, like we're going to work with whatever you've done so far, because again, I want you to work on it for the next few weeks, right? So the next thing we want to do is we want to look at the standard. So what is your new standard? What is your new baseline? So something that you can ask yourself right now, if you're like, well, what the hell does she mean by that? Think of this. In 2026, I want to feel more blank and less blank. That's one way. And you would want to reflect on this with every pillar. So, what you're looking at is what standard must you start living if you really want to see change. So, I want to be, I want to make $1 million. I want to feel more peace and less. I did something different last year, so I'm struggling with the less that I want to feel. So two words that I had last year when I did my freedom, I'm gonna sidebar for a minute. When I did my vision board last year and I did this exercise, I had two words, and so you guys might even have words, okay, that'll land with you. It might not always be pictures, but I had two words, and I wanted to feel more peace and more freedom, and I wanted less weight in my life, less fear, less stress, less blank. And that was my focus. You can ask Jen. Like I was like
Yeah.
zeroed in. I was like, it hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, peace and freedom, peace and
Mhm.
freedom. That's what I want. January 1st, Nicole,
Opportunity. Knock.
opportunity knocked. Nicole and I ran into each other in a room where we never should have. And a connection was made. And she got what she really wanted and needed, and I got the peace and the freedom that I wanted.
Yeah.
So it's like, what do you want to feel more of and less of? So I want to feel more blank and less blank, and apply it to, again, those four pillars. And again, another way of looking at it is, what is the standard you must start living if you really want to start to see change? So I had to I had to start focusing in on peace and freedom. That was I had to spend less time focusing on all the things that I didn't want, and I had to visualize, lean into, and I did it in all pillars of my life, that peace and that freedom. I think my next slide might even help you guys out more. Mm.
Yeah, because how many of you have like said, my day is going to shit, it's terrible, I'm in utter chaos, like this is a crappy day. Like as soon as you
Mm.
focus in on negative, 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 it seems like you are just overweighted with all of that negativity. But as soon as you shift and you shift your mind to that positive mindset, whatever that case may be, and you start looking for the good things that you want that are more positive, it's like all of a sudden you just have this weight that's lifted off of you. And it's like the energy just comes right into you.
Mhm. So if you wanted to, if you related it back to fitness, it's actually, or your body, and I want to feel healthier in 2026 and less whatever it might be. Like this might be an easier place for you guys. And I don't want to put words in any of your mouth because you all have this feeling. Then what is this new standard? What are the new, you guys know this better. What are your new non-negotiables for
Mm.
each one of those pillars? Like, because you know what it is. So if you want a stronger connection with your faith, like you're like, I've been a little slack there, and I need to, because I've had people that have done this workshop with me before and are like, have leaned into that, like, um, what do I have to do? I've had people last year that were like, I need to get out of debt, and created a whole plan based off of this vision board of how to do it. Like, this is the things that I need to do more of. I need to do more of focusing on what's coming in and less of focusing what's going out. I need to do more. And then automatically these things start to happen. I don't know why I'm talking about money. I'm trying to keep the focus a little off your fitness because you guys always think about that. Relationships,
Mm,
in
relationship
2026, I want to feel more, maybe I want to feel more secure and less alone, or I want to have more, right? Then what
connection.
can I want
Yeah.
more connection? I want to feel more part of a tribe. I want to feel like less alone. What do I need to do? What is that standard? And that doesn't mean I need to get on Bumble. Okay, there's different ways of looking at that. I might need to have a real hard conversation with myself about where I'm located and who I'm surrounded by. Maybe I
Hmm.
need to shift, even like it can be that big, guys. It might need to be, I might need to take myself out of a situation and put myself into another one. I'm talking about something very real right now.
Hmm.
So if I want to feel more loved, more cared for, more supported, more a part of, like, I want that feeling of connection. I can't be isolated. So it might be something where, and again, I'm talking about myself, I need to have a really hard conversation and say, well, what are you doing here? "Hmm, I don't know. Because I like my house. Huh. Well, how do you feel about that? Lonely. I don't like going to the gym every day by myself. I don't have any fitness friends around ever here. Everybody left me. I have the freedom to do whatever I want. Start thinking about those things, and things start happening, like your old house that you sold comes up for sale again.
Right? Again, are you going to play small or are you going to take that chance?
And those chances, guys, can scare the bejesus out of you. They can be exciting and exhilarating one day, and the next day go, what the actual fuck am I thinking?
Hmm.
But that's where you have, support. So these can go like that. That's okay. And we want to, moving on from this, guys, operating from your truth. So this is what this means is like it's kind of like your identity line, your map. Like, so as you're working through this, this might help you too. Like, what's one sentence that defines how you operate from this moment forward? So you want, like, an example would be, I follow through even when, so Jen was kind of leaning into this already. I follow through even when I don't feel like it. I operate from a place of discipline, not emotion, or intention, not emotion. I do
Mm,
what I said I would do, no negotiating. Like,
yes.
these are examples. Like, so what is one sentence? And again, guys, you don't have to remember all this, but as you're working through this and you have your little maybe boxes drawn out with your pillars in there, and you're scribbling in there one thing that you might want to, what you want to look at with each one of these pillars. And again, we're looking at, like, we want to shift. We know where we are right now in 2025. We are going to get to where we want to go. Don't worry about that. We're going to talk about that in a minute, but you're kind of drawing this line. So as you start to think about these things, like, what is something that I need to do? What is that one sentence that defines how you need to move or operate or think? It could be as simple as, I got to take $500 a month, put it aside, and pay down on whatever it is so I can get the Camaro that I want.
Hey, that was mine. That was my vision
Like,
board last year.
right. So just thinking, like, and yeah, that was your vision board. But what are those things? Like, and they could be big, big dreams. They don't have to be just a car. It could be, I want to start a business. Like, if you want to start a business, guys, like, that comes under, like, the financial and the business aspect of it. And here's the thing. Not all of your pillars are going to have this huge thing. There's probably
Right.
going to be one that's going to be massive, And then some of the other ones, you might be like, I don't know, I just don't know. I don't really know. And it might come to you later. And that's okay. So I'm just throwing out like all kinds of examples, but maybe you're like, I just said that, and you're like, yeah, I've always wanted to start this business. Like, I really want to do that. But you just never follow through on it because you're afraid. And it will go back to that playing small. So, what is that one thing? If you really wanted to start that business this year, what is that new standard? Not a mood that can shift, like Jen said, from day to day. It's like a new non negotiable or a standard that you're like, I'm going to stand on this. This is how I'm going to show up. These are the things that I'm going to do. I follow through. I operate from this place. I do these things. Like, these are things like, what is that that's going to move that needle for you,
Mhm.
get you a little closer to that? Does this make sense, guys? Is this landing? I don't know, Jen, if we're getting any questions.
Claudia said she's going to stop hiding and show up fully. That one's a good
Mm. Ah,
one.
can she expand on that? I love that. If she's open to, I'd love
Yeah,
to
yeah. Oh
hear.
my gosh, somebody just came to the door. Hopefully it's not my ex-husband. Um, just saw you. Yeah, I hide in my body. I hide in my business. I hide in my relationships. I've been divorced for, I don't know, many, many years. Have I dated anyone? No, because I'm fucking hiding. So it's time to stop hiding. And this harkens back to my call with Heidi. And I'm like, it's here. I've got to stop hiding. This is why I'm here to stop hiding, stop being afraid of myself, my body, what it should look like, what my finances should look like. So this statement scares me.
Which one?
And I have to do it. I have to show up. I can't hide anymore. I have to go make that money. I have to grow my business. I have to look like a badass motherfucker. I have to do all these things.
Yeah.
And people might not like it, but it doesn't matter. Have to just show up and not worry about if it ruffles anyone's feathers, if it makes people uncomfortable. And just saying that makes me so uncomfortable because this is a lofty goal to stop hiding and to fully show up. I'd
Mhm.
rather be in the back of the room,
Hmm.
fully show up.
I love that. But this is step one. You just said it out loud in front of a bunch of people.
Oh,
A bunch of
that's
people that
scary.
are going to start holding you accountable for it.
I know,
But
right?
like,
Dang it.
but like, what is like, so what do you, like you said, like, I have to stop hiding. What does that like look like? Like, just, I mean, and I want you to think about this over the next few weeks, but like off the top of your head, like, what are these things like that, where are you going to have to operate from in order to do
Well, there in my business, it's like, oh, well, do you really have enough money to hire that VA? So then that means you can't grow, you can't expand your YouTube channel, you can't expand your SEO. And it's like, yeah, 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 you can pay a VA in the Philippines. You can make that money, right? Like
that?
it's these small little things. Can you really afford to run ads? These things, maybe you should just go out with your friends and not stay and work from home. These are the little things where you show up. Um, what if I'm on somebody's ad? What if I show up in somebody's inbox in an ad and that makes them uncomfortable? I have to show up. What if I end up making more money than people who mentored me? I have to show up,
You have to take the risk, right?
right? Because I'm
No
amazing. That's
risk.
what I'm learning.
Exactly. Right.
We have to do that.
No risk, no reward. I love
Nope.
that. So that's what I keep hearing. You have to take the risk in
Oh my
almost all areas of your life. You have to take the risk and be step into your power, take the risk is what I want to say. And there's a fear of failing and not even look at it as there's no way you could fail. Changing that mindset from I can't fail. I can't.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
come a long
Yeah.
way already. Hmm.
I love that. That's really good. I look forward to this with you. It's fun. Anybody else want to share? Thank you so much, Claudia. Do you have anybody else that wants to share, Jen?
Thank you.
That was powerful. All right. So now I kind of switched things around. So I want, before we actually, you tell me, Jen, I could go here, but I think I want to talk about the gap first.
Yeah, let's talk about the gap.
Yeah. So before we talk about the goals, let's talk about the gap because Claudia kind of led us into that. So, like, what is in the way? So Claudia just set us up for that. Like,
She
she's
did.
hides. She set us up for that. And so now it's taking a look at what is really in the way. Like, what is that pattern that Claudia just brought up that's holding you back in each pillar? And maybe some, and I want you to always, I want you all to be aware that now, not every pillar might be, you might be okay in one or two of those pillars. Okay, so don't look, there might not, that, and all of them might be like dominoes that you got to work on, right? So Claudia's like, damn, they're all messed up. I need to work on them all. That's okay,
Yeah.
but you might have one that you're really cruising in right now. So don't like be looking, turning over rocks that you don't need to, but also be super honest. So like, what is that pattern? Like Claudia just talked about and was so humble and, to share that's holding you back. What feels, good questions to ask around that is, what feels missing right now? What am I craving more of? So for me, what am I craving more of? I'm craving more of connection.
Hmm.
What feels out of alignment? These are questions. I'm sure there's more, but these are just some ideas of what you can ask yourself for each one of these pillars, because that's going to present the gap. That
Hmm.
gap between what we're about to talk about, what you want, and where you are. There's a gap, and to fill that gap, the answer is usually that's where you're going to have that aha moment. And there's a pattern.
Yeah. There's always a pattern.
There's always a pattern. Claudia says I hide, and she just openly said I hide. And if you guys get really honest with yourself, that's like we talked about in the beginning. I said, this isn't about sugarcoating anything. It's about getting really deep and honest with yourself.
Yeah.
um, you know, and we hide what's missing right now. What do we crave more? What feels out of alignment? And we all go through these things. We go through ebbs and flows, and part of our life might be in really good alignment at one point in time, and then not such a great alignment. It doesn't always stay there. Life has
Right.
ebbs and flows. I can think of certain areas and pillars in my life that were perfectly aligned, and then not so much. And that's just because something kind of slips. And then we got to go, oh, recognize that. And then kind of like right the ship a little bit. So you're looking for, what are these patterns that are holding you back? I won't talk a lot about it, but I will just say this because Jen has talked a little bit about it, but Coach Jen's been really looking at patterns in a in an aspect of her life, really digging deep into patterns and things that she didn't even really know that were there, that were in her fitness. And you might not
Holding
think
me
that,
back.
holding her back. And it, like, as she started to peel back and look at the patterns, this is what she was looking at, the patterns. She had aha moments where she'd be, messaging, oh my God, did you know, this is what I'm doing. You'll notice things when you start to look for patterns.
Yeah.
And then they might not be what you think. They might be, I don't know how to say that, because I don't think, like what I'm thinking about, like what you were sharing with me, Jen, like I don't think you would have ever thought about that before. Like they were like the patterns that came up were like, who would have linked that to?
Right. Yeah.
Like, who would have linked it?
Well, and it's not easy to actually be 100% honest with with yourself and speaking from experience. And it's very uncomfortable because it is a hard truth. But you know what? You're in a good place because Coach Jules and me and Nicole, like, we get you. Like, we've been there. Like, we are on the same journey together. And what better of a safe place than to be here and to be able to work through all of this stuff and have somebody by your side who is coaching you and walking with you hand in hand, supporting you. So there's no reason for you to be afraid or, feel guilt or shame or anything like that. what we're trying to make you look at is, ways where, and this is the difference between change and transformation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this is the difference between, getting to a destination or getting to a goal or getting to like, having being on a diet versus actually making this a sustainable lifestyle. And I know that it's been completely life-changing for me. And it's a domino effect in the sense that when one area starts to align, it's like automatically those other pillars come in alignment.
Mm.
It's just crazy how it all happens that way.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I was talking about in the beginning too, guys. So Key says playing small really resonates with me. Irene, she she says she loves it all, Claudia. Amy V, Amy says the universe will
When you show
reward
up.
you when you show up. I love that one. Yeah, it
Mhm.
absolutely will. And this is the thing. The universe rewards you when you show up. Um, and I don't want to say it pun but it rewards you when you don't too. Like it gives you whatever you ask for, good, bad, or indifferent. Like,
Mm.
and,
Mhm.
and I say this to people all the time. I see Amy shaking her head. And feel free to expand on this too, Amy, if you want to. But like manifestation is real, guys. It's not hippy dippy weirdo shit. Okay, manifesting is like a reality. Manifesting happens when we repeat something over and over. So you could write it, you could say it in your head, you can think it, but it's when something is repeated over and over again, the subconscious mind believes it. So when Amy says this, it will reward you when you show up. And I say, yeah, no matter, it'll reward you in how you show up. And that's why it's important to show up the way that you want to have the universe delivered to you. Because if you show up in a way that doesn't align with you, that shit's still gonna come. So if you show up in a way that's not in aligned with you, meaning you show up in a way, this goes back to where I say like the bank account that's empty, or Claudia showing up with fear and saying, well, what if I'm not willing to take the risk? The universe can go, okay, cool, cool. It means no harm, but I mean that higher, power, whatever it is that's just literally we are given what we ask for, good, bad, or indifferent. So if we say, give me more debt, okay. Give me less love, okay. It really is. And that's a hard, I'm glad Jen talked about that. That's a hard pill to swallow sometimes because we want to what? Project out. We want to say, we want to lay blame. It's got to be somebody else's. Like, there's got to be a reason, right? There's a reason why you're hiding, Claudia. It's not your fault, right? Yeah, she's shaking her head, of course. And we all are guilty of it. I am certainly a blame. So I love that. I love that you said that. I kind of went off on that. I'm going to embrace the suck. Yes. Do it when you're scared. Ooh, I love that one. Yes, I love that one, Alicia. Do it when you're scared. Yes, absolutely. Ooh, Renee, I like this. Having clutter-free home answers each of these questions, empowering me in all four pillars. That's a really big one, guys. And I don't know if anybody follows astrology or any of this stuff. So last year was the year of the snake, and this is the year of the horse, whoever follows that at all. The year of the snake was last year, and it was about shedding and releasing. And then this is the year of the horse, which is actually it's the year for things to manifest, come in, for you to step into your light, step into your power. So if you research that, you're going to see. In fact, tomorrow is a full moon. It's the
Yes.
last super moon, again, where like the last super moon of 2025. And there's a lot around that as well if you guys do that research. But I'm lingering it to a clutter-free home because that is very, very, very true. So like when we have physical clutter around us, our whole entire life can be
Mm.
cluttered.
Mhm.
So sometimes, and a lot of times, if you do investigating around this, so like this is the month, like they're saying, like December is the month to, and I actually naturally do this a lot. I don't know if raise your hand if you do, but December right now is the month to naturally just be decluttering and allowing new to come in. So there's a lot about that right now. And so, yeah, it's like, and that could be organizing your closet. It could be cleaning out your spice drawer. It could be, numerous things, downsizing, giving stuff away, donating things. And who's ever done something like that and you feel really freaking good after you do it? Yeah. Yeah. It's like this new sense of, and I don't mean it's just like, oh God, the house is clean. It's like, whew, that feels so good. It's like a
Yeah.
release. So I love that you said that, Renee, and it's absolutely wonderful. Words are wands. Amy, you speak my language. Yes, they are. Abracadabra. All right. Jennifer has to run. Okay. I'm going to let Jen continue to manage the comments. I'm going to close them. All right. So now I'm going to move on. So now we're really coming into the close here, guys. I know it's been a while, and but now it took all that time to get here. But now I want you to start to think about what I like to call, so they're SMART goals, but what I really want to give the name to right now, and these are the ones that are going to go on your vision board. They're your impossible goals. And you're going to start to think of one in all four pillars. So we're going to think of a goal in fitness or our body, faith, flow, finances. And you want to think of a very impossible goal. And what is impossible to one may not be impossible to somebody else. But what an impossible goal means is it really has to stretch, you guys. It has to feel, I put in here, it should feel exciting, but it really should feel uncomfortable,
Mhm.
unrealistic, unrealistic.
Like it almost makes your heart skip a beat
Mhm.
just thinking about it.
And the one thing I can tell you, like, I have to relate it to this because it's the one thing I've always been pretty good at change, meaning I think the first big risk I took was when I left my hometown, and then after that, it like set me on fire, and I never kept my ass in one place for longer than my. This is no joke. My friends would tell me I got the 7 year itch. They were like, you never stay anywhere for longer than, I think it was even more than that, but I would either change my job, I would change where I lived, I would like, and I loved it. I thrived off of it. It took 30 years for me to leave. I'm old. It took me 30 years to leave my hometown. But when I did, it was like, doom, 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 doom. I was like gone. I've lived everywhere, guys. I have lived all over the country, all over the country. And I would just pick up and move like I was changing my underwear. I had no problem. My company loved me because they just sent me like, they would, well, the West Coast needs to get fixed. Let's send Jules over there. She'll go. And I went. I was all over the place. I've lived west, east, in between, everywhere. And so, but once you set that goal, you're off and running. And the other thing that set me on fire is then like I never thought I could leave my hometown. It was uncomfortable as hell. I'll never forget it. Like I grew up in a very, very small town. You'll never like most people don't believe this about me because of the way I present myself. I was in a small town, a little tiny town. If who anybody here live in Michigan? Midwest. We all know what Michigan is, right? Okay, we know the hand. Okay, on top of the hand, almost damn near in Canada, that's where I lived. 30 years of my life. Small, 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 small town.
Mm.
I used to have snow up to here. Like I would walk up. That's why I hate snow. That's why I hate cold weather. I would seriously open my door in the wintertime and there would be a snowbank up. I'd have to shovel myself out of the house. It was terrible. But my point is like, we get these things like, and once I left, I was on fire. It's the same thing with my fitness. Like I didn't think I could, there was no way. I always wanted to be a bodybuilder. I always wanted to compete, but man, there's no way I could do that. And then when I figured out I could, I was unstoppable. And everything changed. But it takes that one belief. So it's got to be that. And those goals that I had, they were uncomfortable. Fuck. They felt so unrealistic. I will tell you, thinking that a shy girl from the Midwest who never wore a bikini, hid behind big ass baggy shirts, never wore anything tight. The idea that I was going to stand in a bikini on a stage in front of thousands of people in a bikini this big was like the most unrealistic thing in the whole world. I spent almost the entire time I was transforming and knowing that I was going to do this because I'd said I was going to do it, believing there was no, I was like, mm, this is, and so did everybody else around me until I did it. Lights out, game over. So you got to set those uncomfortable goals. So, with that said, guys, put it out there. If it feels funky, you don't want to say it out loud, you probably should write it down. And the thing about it too is I put SMART here because the thing about setting a goal, even if it's an impossible goal, you want to make sure it's specific. I want to stand, and I am not putting this in anybody's head. I'm using it as an example because it's easy for me to use an example. I want to stand on stage and compete as a bikini competitor. Specific. Measurable. Very measurable. Very measurable because I have to be at a certain body fat percentage in order to be there. So it's very measurable and I can measure it all the way there. Obtainable? Sure it is. I just have to do the work. Relevant? Yep. It was very relevant. It was relevant to my beliefs, my alignment, what I wanted, my heart, like what I really wanted for myself. And the most important thing is it's time. It's got time sensitive. That's the most important thing. You have to have a specific, like, you might have to push that date out, but you need to put a date on it.
Yeah.
So for me, the date was I'm standing on stage on this date. I'm moving on this date. Now, shit could happen. Maybe I'm not quite where I need to be, and we got to push it out a little bit, but you have to set that timeline. It doesn't mean that that's the end all. I might have all my shit packed, say I am moving on this date, and there's a little snafu, and I got to push it out a couple of weeks. That's okay. But I still have a specific goal. It's very measurable, and I have a timeline on it. Because if I don't put a timeline on it, fuck, I ain't ever gonna do it. I'm just gonna keep talking about it, flapping my lips, saying I'm gonna do it. Monday's never gonna come.
Renee says her current town may be smaller than yours.
I don't know how many people are in it. I think I had 20,000.
4,000.
Oh, yep, she beat me.
Everybody knows everybody.
Well, yeah, 20,000. I knew everybody.
She
I can
said
only imagine.
so. St. Louis.
Mhm. So, how we doing, guys? You still
Nikki
hanging?
has 250. She's in a remote area.
All right, some of you guys got me. Got me. I mean, technically, I lived in a town smaller than 20,000. I say 20,000 because I say I came from Escanaba, Michigan, which had about 20,000 people. But technically, I lived in a very rural area outside of it, which was called Bark River, Michigan. And it's really funny because I had somebody that visited there not too long ago, one of my friends from Las Vegas, and she's like, "Oh, I'm going to this," and she was talking about it because her son races, and there's this huge racetrack there for like off-road racing.
BMX. Yeah.
Yeah. And she was going there. I go, "You're going where?" And she's like, "I'm going to this place, at Bark River." She's like, "I'm flying to this town called Escanaba." Never. I'm like, "Girl, I live there." I'm like, "I know exactly where you're going. I know exactly where that track is." I'm like, "Yeah, it's small town. Bundle up, babe." So this is how we want to set these up. All right, let me see where I'm at. as you're thinking about these goals, you want to have, I'm glad I went to the next slide. I almost forgot. You want to have, as you're thinking about these goals, guys, and you're creating them, you want to have a why for each one. Like, think about why it matters to you. And have a little heart and a little emotion around that why. It doesn't have to be like even when if it, I want it to be measurable, but your why should have a little bit of heart in it, a little bit of emotion. That there's got to be a connection to it, because if there's a connection to it, I mean, we want it to be smart, but we want you to have a big, strong connection to it too. Like, it's gonna feel so good. So you can do that as well as you're, going through. Why does this matter to me? Why do I? What's the why? And then lastly, this is a fun piece too, as you're putting these goals together. What version of yourself reaches these goals? Is it 2.0? Maybe for some of you, it's 3.0 version of yourself. How many times can you reinvent yourself? I'm on 5.0 of myself,
Yeah.
at least.
This is never ending.
What version of yourself? Like, so, Claudia, what version of yourself is going to step out from behind the curtain? Like, who's the woman who's going to hit this goal, and how? This is the most important piece, guys. Write this shit down. How does, you've heard me say this sometimes in your check-ins, how does she think? How does she act? How does she show up? One of the most relevant things that was said to me was a coach. And he said to me, and my God, of all coaches, he was the youngest coach I had. And he looks at me one day, and I was belly aching about something in the middle of, because I got shit done, but I belly ached a lot. And he used to listen. And he looked at me. I messaged him one day, and I said, I don't know what to do. I don't know. I didn't feel good, or something was going on, but I don't know what to do. Like, what should I do? And I don't even remember what the situation was, but it was something stupid. And you know what? I think I knew what to do. And he messaged me back, and he said, because I was going for my pro card at the time, he goes, "What would a pro do?" And I said, "Well, a pro would go get it done. She'd find a way to make it happen." And he goes, "Then get it done." End of message. Period. Oh, he was blunt. That was it. Then go do it. And his point was, and it landed, it was another thing that landed to me. And I thought about it after he said it. I was pissed, but he was right. Because if I wanted to be a pro, I had to step into it. I had to act like her. I had to behave like her. So if I didn't want to eat the fucking chicken, and I'm not like, listen, guys, there's a lot of things you have to do when you want to be in the best shape of your life. So don't like, but I didn't want to eat the fucking chicken and rice. I didn't eat the fucking chicken and rice. If I didn't want to eat the cold cod, screw it, Jules, because goddamn somebody else going for that pro card is doing that. Somebody else going for that pro card is getting up at 3:30 in the damn morning to get her damn cardio in. Somebody else going for that pro card is not bitching about the fact that she's working long hours and doesn't know where she's going to fit this in and that in. No, somebody else is doing it, and she's going to get that damn card if I don't do what she's doing. If I want to be that person. So, Claudia, if you want to be that person, somebody else is stepping out from behind the curtain, yeah? You got to act like her. You have to show up with her. So, like, these, and that doesn't happen overnight, guys, but these are the things like you have to, like, so when you look at that version, think about who you want to be. So, that person that has the new business, that person that's making X amount of money, that person that has the banging body that you want, like that, these impossible goals that you create for yourself. Now think about her. She's got these goals. Who is that woman, and how does she act? How does she show up? What is her identity? And once you flip that switch, that's when everything starts changing, because you'll start asking, you'll go to do the thing, that's not how she does that. It's not going to be perfect, but starting to think that way. What does she do? And it's not always going to be, I still have to check myself, guys. I still have to check myself. I really don't want to drag my ass to the gym right now. It's cold as hell. Somebody messaged me today and they're like, it's cold out, dark, and I don't want to get my steps in. Neither do I. Neither do I. I hate the cold weather. I don't like dark. And I sent her a message back, and it was a video of my little feet on my walking pad. I'm like, neither do I. She's like, oh, that was the last part. I don't want to get my steps in. I hate the cold. I bought a walking pad, but I hate walking on the walking pad. It's boring. And I responded back with a video. So do I. And my little feet were on the walking pad walking. You figure it out. Like, because I had to say to myself, well, how does Coach Jules show up? How does that version of myself? Oh, hell. I'm going to go walk on the damn walking pad and get my steps in.
We're gonna eat the damn chicken and rice.
Gotta eat the damn chicken and rice. God damn it all to hell. So those are the things, like, so like, and so again, and in closing with that, guys, like, you can use this to like, what is her identity, like, is she that intentional you? Is she that disciplined you? Is she that aligned you? Is she that soft but focused you? Is she that balanced you? Is she that abundant you? Like, those are just, and she could be all of that, but just kind of giving her an identity will help you as well. So now you get to create your vision.
Jules,
Yes.
I heard something today. Walk like it's already happened. Act like it's already happened. You already are that person.
Mm-hmm. You do have.
Yeah. Irene, I love that. That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And it's exactly, you got to show up like her. And you guys can take it, even a step further, Irene, is, and I say this sometimes to you guys in the beginning of your journey. I ask you to, and this is part of creating, like, vision board. So this is part of what we're doing. We want you to write these things down, but you also want to visualize it. So if we go back to even the physical self that you want to be, what does she look like? What is she wearing? Where is she? Who's she with?
Mm-hmm.
All of those things. If you can start to, and that's where the pictures come in, okay, when we start to create the vision board. So you start gathering stuff, guys. So if we go back to your physical self or what you're saying, what does she look like? Go, Kate posted a picture of her vision board. Great example. I was very humbled to know that I was on her damn vision board, by the way. I was like, damn, I'm on her vision board. But find pictures. What does she look like? What does she look like? What is she wearing? Does she wear Louis Vuitton's red bottom shoes? Jimmy shoes? Put it out there. What is she like? What size is she? So you can have multiple bits. Here you go. Wait a minute. I'll show you. What does she look like? What is she wearing? Where does she live? This is an example of my old, yes, my ass is on there. But this is a picture of one of my vision boards from last year. I haven't done everything on here, but I had words on here: freedom, peace, growth, success. I had a phoenix. My job was to grow my glutes back. They're not quite there yet, but I'm on my way. Strength. I was trying to manifest this dude. I don't know. He lives way across the country. I haven't done that yet. Peace, love, happiness, butter. Like, just, these were just, and this is just one that I started to create. I had old pictures of myself on there. I've also had pictures. I've done vision boards where I have had images of others, but it's like looking at different things that you want. I don't have my other, I have other vision boards too. I think it's in my office, but starting to find pictures. So you can create one on Canva, but going back to what Irene said is start to, how does she show up? So is there an image that you want to look like? Put it out there, no matter how ridiculous it is. If there's certain things that you want to attract in your life, start like looking for them. It could be words that you want to attract. It could be things that you want to attract. I was just telling Jen, well, here, hell, I'll show it to you. Hold on.
She said, "Oh, please hold."
We need to be playing the Jeopardy music.
Right?
This is my 20, I've got all kinds of, this was my 22 years ago vision board. But I have on here, this is my old house in Las Vegas. And I just had it on there because I liked the look of it. And my old house in Vegas had a lot of windows too. And it's been sitting there for a while. Yeah, I have money and all kinds of stuff on here. And I obviously have pictures of myself and just like it's images. But I was just telling Jen the other day, because there is this things that are probably going to be happening this year. And I said, holy shit. Because my house did really come up for sale, guys. It really did. My old house in Las Vegas really came up for sale again, out of the blue. I just went to Las Vegas. I said, you know what? I think I might want to move back here. Well, no, I didn't even say that. I flew into Las Vegas and I was thinking to myself, I'm home. And I hadn't lived there in a while. And then Jen said something, she said, you should move back. I was like, huh. And it like the whole trip, everybody that stepped in front of me was like, then I saw her and then I walked into my girlfriend's house and she was like, everybody loves you here. You should really, have you ever thought about moving back? And I was like, and then it was just like, I could tell you like the craziest things happened. I said to Jack, yeah, but if, and then she said, you know what, until you find a house, why don't you just like, you could live with me? And I was like, great, now I have a place to live if I want to move. And yeah, but I have a bunch of shit that I can store. Jen goes, well, yeah, you know that storage unit that you never got rid of?
Still has a
I was
storage.
like, oh my God, that's right. I still have a storage unit. She's like, yeah, that's probably why you held on to it. Like it was just everything, guys. It was the craziest thing. And so she and I were talking about it again. I go, holy shit. I'm like, it's on my vision board. I didn't even, and I didn't have it on there for that reason. I had it on there just because it was my favorite house. And then out of the blue, I was looking at properties and I just happened to look to see if there was anything for sale in that vicinity. And I went, holy shit, the place across from where I used to live is for sale. So I texted my neighbor. I'm like, dude, you selling your house? He's like, hell no, I'm not. My neighbor is. He goes, by the way, the chick that bought your house is selling it. I went, oh my God. So envision it, Irene.
Brittany asks for you to go back to the have a why slide,
Have a
but I think Renee helped her out with that.
right here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, she got it.
And vision boards, guys, can look different. This one's kind of falling apart. It fell off my wall, but I did something really weird last year because I was really hung up on words. So this was my 2025 one, and it was nothing but words. So it was just what I was called to. Like I went to a store, I literally was just called. I had prosperity, peace, freedom, freedoms on here, and I just had all this crazy shit on here, and that was my, it's, some of it's fallen off, but that was my vision board. And
Freedom. Freedom was like the word.
yeah, it was just the word.
It just kept coming up in all areas.
So it can be like anything you want, but don't, so what I was going to say next, guys, is what we really want you to do. So the next part of this call, really, we're not going to build the vision board yet. We're going to help you do some work around breaking these things down. We really want you to think about it. And we have the date set for January 3rd because we figured you'd all be busy around the holidays. If we push that up, it's not a big deal. That's why it says to be decided. But some of the things that you want to start doing right now is just collecting some pictures. So like don't go buy magazines, but you know, like, or I just print things out that I see, you know, on Pinterest or just on the internet. Like, just start
Yeah.
like saving stuff that you want, cutting it out, and just start saving things, start building the vision. I like to have sticky notes around. Sometimes I will put sticky notes on there. If you like are really crafty and you like to be have fun, you can go buy letters and stuff so you can build stuff. I'm crafty. I like to make mine really pretty, and it sits out in the middle of my house usually. But you can do it however you want. You don't have to have a cork board. You can just get like a regular board. You can actually build them on Canva like I did here. Um, there's several different ways, but just start building the vision is what we want you to do right now. Is just start building the vision.
Yeah, whatever comes to you, whatever speaks to you, whatever makes your heart skip a beat. Christina Pinto's asking if we're going to post the PowerPoint that we used tonight.
I can. This is a recording, so you guys will see it, but I could definitely post it too. And then I have a worksheet, guys. It's not very pretty. Oh, it's not in my downloaded. My downloads left. But I did put a worksheet together that has a lot of questions. So I don't want to, those of you that were on the call, just message myself or Coach Jen, and and I'll make sure you have it, Jen. I'll put it in the tasks. We can attach it to your like task.
Yeah.
You can easily download it if you want it. I think I can probably do the same thing with this PowerPoint too. I can probably download it if you guys want. And
I'll download it as PDF or something.
yeah, and attach it. But we do have a worksheet. I just saw something. This was a PowerPoint for something else that I played with, but this is kind of applicable.
Ah,
You have two choices, guys.
you
You can
have
take
two
the red,
choices, the red one or the blue one.
the blue one or the red one. This was something else that I did. I just saw it sitting in the corner. You got two choices. So yeah, I can totally do that. I'll write myself a note, and then like I said, just I don't want to put it in everybody's tasks, but if you guys want it, you can just let us know.
Yeah, just message us. We'll put it on there. It's easy to do.
Yeah, and we'll just add it to you, and I'll make sure by tomorrow, Jen, it's in the tasks so you can attach it.
Okay.
Does anybody else have any questions? I can stop sharing. It was a good call.
Oh, it's really good.
Did you
Yeah.
guys like it? Now,
Now, how's it
who's
feel?
excited about doing a vision board?
Are you excited, nervous, all the things?
Yes, I think it's so fun. Yes,
Uh,
Brittany, what's your question? Where'd she go? She raised her hand and then I lost her. Maybe she didn't mean to raise her hand.
oh, she's here.
Definitely excited. All right. Well, if you guys don't have any questions, I'm like, the floor is yours right now. What's the first thing you're going to do?
She said no question, sorry.
It's okay.
Uh,
What's one thing you learned tonight? Christina, I'm going to call on you. Yeah. Claudia talked. I'm going to get somebody else to talk.
Let's see. It's not fitness. It's like where I want to connect more in relationships, like
Mhm.
reflecting on some of those questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I like
I was
that
like,
though. It doesn't have to be fitness.
yeah, no, because I feel good. I feel good where I am, you know, I'm doing the thing and I feel like I'm in a good place. But I was just reflecting on like this past year and how some things have changed and where I could be more present,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Some relationships have been
Yeah.
better than others, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So
I love
it just
that.
gives me something to work on.
Hi, Claudia. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Tara, you said you've done a vision board all several. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It's absolutely fun to do. So I love this, guys. Thank you for everybody that shared. I hope it was helpful. Like I said, the next call we're going to do is we're just going to kind of break it down a little bit, make it a little bit easier for you guys. So there'll just be another workshop that we'll layer on. But until then, um, just keep like working on some of these things that we put out there for you. Just work through them and just keep thinking about it, like, and building that vision and coming back to it. And the more you come back to it, I think the more you're going to learn about yourself.
Mm.
Yeah. You might even come up with more things. Coach Jen and I will probably have an inbox full of, oh my God, guess what? And we love that, okay?
We do. We
We
do.
love that. Oh my God, guess what? I just came up with this. It's awesome. So do me a favor, in any of the communities, go share like a little bit about the call. Let's try to get as many people as we can to the next one. If you have any questions, let us know. And then, like I said, we will attach that form for you. And I'll find a way to see if I can put this PowerPoint together for you too, Christina. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. If you have
Thanks,
nothing else,
ladies.
guys,
Good
Have a
great
great
night.
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 Bye.
Thank you.
And I'll drop the recording too.
Cool.
Bye.